Tattoos are meant to be permanent, right? A story you carry with you forever. But what if you want to erase a chapter? Well, today we're going to go under the skin and look at the incredible science of how a simple beam of light can make something permanent just disappear.
So let's start with the central puzzle here, what you could call the permanent paradox. We get tattoos specifically because they're supposed to last forever. So how in the world can we just make them vanish?
It's the question everyone has, isn't it? The whole point is that it's a permanent decision. So how can something that's designed to last a lifetime just get erased? Well, the secret is all about a tiny, microscopic battle that's happening just under your skin.
So here's the deal. A tattoo's permanence has nothing to do with some kind of magic ink. It's really just about size. The ink particles are just massive on a cellular scale, so big that your body's own internal cleanup crew can't do anything about them.
And that brings us right to the main event, ink versus the body. And this isn't just something that happens once. No, this is an ongoing biological standoff. Deep in your skin, your immune system is in a constant stalemate with this invading ink, a battle that can go on for your entire life.
So think of it like this. Your white blood cells are like these little Pac-Man, just gobbling up any foreign stuff they find. But when one of them bumps into a tattoo ink particle, it's totally stumped. It's like trying to eat a giant boulder. The particle is just way too big to be swallowed, so it stays put, and that's why your tattoo stays visible for decades.
And this is where technology completely changes the game. If your body can't handle the ink on its own, well, it needs a little help. It needs a powerful ally, and that's where the laser comes in.
Now, we're not talking about some sci-fi laser beam here. This thing is a piece of medical genius. It shoots this ultra-short, super powerful pulse of light that actually passes right through your skin without harming it and delivers this perfectly targeted hit right onto those giant trapped ink particles.
Okay, and this is where it gets really dramatic. The second that laser light hits the ink, something pretty incredible happens, something you can actually hear. They call it the photoacoustic snap.
Yeah, anyone who's had this done will tell you all about that sound. It's this sharp, snapping noise. But it's not what you think. It's not the sound of burning or anything like that. It is literally the sound of physics at work. It's the sound of solid ink being shattered into dust.
The science behind that noise? It's called the photoacoustic effect. Basically, that little pulse of light hits the ink with so much concentrated force in such a short amount of time that it creates a tiny physical shock wave. A sound wave. That's the snap you hear.
But that shock wave is really only half the story. The laser's energy also triggers something else called cavitation. Just think of it as these tiny, super powerful bubbles that form and collapse all around the ink particle. So it's this 1-2 punch of the shock wave and the bubbles that just violently shatters those massive ink particles to pieces.
So, the laser's done its job. The giant enemy has been smashed into little bits. And now it's time for the final phase. It's time to bring in the cleanup crew to finish the job.
So here's how it all comes together. The laser does all the heavy lifting, right? It shatters the ink into these tiny manageable chunks. And now, finally, our little Pac-Man white blood cells can get to work. They can actually wrap themselves around these smaller fragments and start carrying them away.
And this is probably the most important thing to get. The laser doesn't actually remove the ink. It's just a microscopic jackhammer breaking up the boulder into little pebbles. It's your body's own natural lymphatic system that does the slow and steady work of clearing those pebbles out. And that's why the tattoo fades gradually, over weeks and months, not all at once.
So, all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? If the only thing that makes a tattoo permanent is the size of the ink, and we have the technology to literally change that size, well, it kind of forces you to rethink what permanent even means. With the right tools, is anything truly forever?
If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next informative video. Bye.